What's going on, everyone? I'm Sage, bringing you more information from the Shadowlands beta. The topic of tier sets has been an ongoing concern for players the moment that they decided to not bring them into the previous expansion, and we have confirmation that tier sets will be coming back later on in this expansion of Shadowlands, which is great news. However, currently, there are a few gear set bonuses that are in the game and will be accessible to players when the expansion launches. The first item set bonus is the PvP set bonus of the Trinkets, giving damage and healing benefits of versatility is increased by 40% when in arenas, battlegrounds, and war mode. This is an incentive for PvP players to use PvP trinkets instead of using dungeon and raid trinkets. This should actually work for the most part because players will want to use PvP trinkets as well because the Gladiator's Medallion is no longer a talent that you can select from PvP talents and instead is now inside actual trinkets again. So not only will you want to get the 2-set bonus so that you can have the verse, but you also will want it so that you can get your freedom from stuns and snares and so on inside the PvP setting, which will still be a very, very strong set of abilities to have. There are still some outliers like the Shriekwing Predator, which acts pretty much like Drestaghast Trinket did inside 8.3, giving a massive amount of damage on demand that can be enhanced by damage modifiers from your class. The remaining set bonuses that are available are full sets, so 9 items that have a 3, 5, and 8 piece set bonus that are gained from each of the 4 covenants. The 3 set for each of these covenants is the same, which increases your out of combat regeneration in outdoor Shadowland zones, while in your covenant's realm, the regeneration amount is increased. This is the same text, but obviously the zone will depend on your covenant. So for instance, if you're Kyrian, it's going to be Bastion. If you're Venthyr, it's going to be Ravendreth. If you're Night Fae, it's going to be Ardenweald. And if you're Necrolord, it's going to be Maldraxxus. Next, we will go over the 5 and 8 set bonuses, effects given by each covenant, and first up is Night Fae. The 5 set bonus is Soul Shape's duration is increased by 4 seconds and Flicker grants a short burst of speed while in outdoor Shadowlands. This is a modification to your second Night Fae ability, which gives you even more speed. Not only does it make the initial speed given by Soul Shape baseline when you transform into whichever Soul Shape or Vulpin, which is the very first one you get, but also Flicker is the teleporting ability that you can utilize while Soul Shape is active, and typically you can get 3 uses out of this, and every single use you have goes on cooldown, but during that time it's on cooldown, you will be able to move even faster. So this will be great for classes that really need that utility, such as Death Knights for mobility, or just about all plate wearers in general. But Death Knights, Warriors, Paladins, all of them could definitely use those movement increasing effects, and this is great for them. The next bonus is the 8 set bonus, giving your spells and abilities have a low chance to summon a Fae Guardian to protect you for 30 seconds. Increasing your agility by 60 while alive, and periodically healing 5 nearby allies for 450 health. This ability is nice not only for the damage increase due to the more main stats, but also the survivability for the party. And yes, this does work in dungeons and in Torghast. The only problem I found is with this ability is that if you play a class that uses stealth, your guardians do not join you in stealth, but still follow you and will aggro anything you come close to. Next up, we will go over the Venthyr 5 and 8 set bonuses. The 5 set bonus makes your spells and abilities have a chance to inflict Penance Brand on your target, dealing 660 shadow damage over 6 seconds, and healing you for the same amount. Great all-around ability, more damage, more survivability. The 8 set bonus is while Door of Shadows is off cooldown, your agility is increased by 80 and its range is increased by 5 while in outdoor Shadowlands. This ability is strong but weird at the same time because it incentivizes you to not use your Door of Shadows so that it will remain off cooldown and give you the primary stat increase permanently. I do not favor abilities that stop you from using the main source of another ability because of a passive ability you can get from it. I don't think that that's great design, and if that's the way that this is going to work inside Shadowlands, I really hope that they do rework it. Even though that these sets might not come off as the most essential things to fix, I don't really like that synergy that it has. So next up, we're going to go over the Necrolord's 5 and 8 set bonuses. The 5 set bonus is while Fleshcraft is active, your agility is increased by 100. That is a lot of primary stat and will make the player want to make sure to use their Fleshcraft over a large group or over elite enemies to get that larger shield in order to keep the buff up longer. The 8 set bonus is killing an enemy reduces Fleshcraft's cooldown by 3 seconds and your critical strike rating is increased by 35, stacking up 5 times. This is great because it synergizes with the 5 set as well as gives you more of a chance to have a protective shield and increase your damage by giving you more crit. Last up, we have the Kyrian 5 and 8 set bonuses. The 5 set bonus is Phial of Serenity grants 70 agility for 30 seconds. Removing a disease, poison, curse, or bleed increases the amount granted by 50%. I'm not a fan of adding a damage gain to an item that's main purpose should be used defensively because now your health pot will be used for primary stats more than HP. The 8 set is your spells and abilities have a chance to cause your target to erupt in a blinding light, dealing 548 arcane damage or healing an ally for 590 health. Added passive damage and healing is always welcomed. These 4 Covenant sets will start being unlocked as you progress through the story Covenant questline, and so that means you will actually start getting some of these pieces very early on. However, as well as getting these pieces, there is going to be another individual inside your Covenant Sanctum that will allow you to upgrade these items to 197 item level if you have the anima to upgrade it. And this is kind of essential, especially at the very beginning, because at the very start, you might not be looking for the full set. However, you might have some anima, and instead of depositing that into your sanctum, you might want to go straight for the gear instead and upgrade that to 197 item level as you're trying to work to just optimize your gear, get into those dungeons, get into raid, and so on and so forth. And some of these passive abilities are actually very strong, so you could definitely get some benefits from them in the beginning levels of Mythic Plus, and also in Outworld content, as well as Torghast as we get into it. The 5 different gear set bonuses that I have gone over are the only ones I have found so far in Shadowlands. However, I am looking forward to what Blizzard has in store for the players with tier sets in the future. Tier sets would be a great addition to all the layers that they've already placed inside the game, and hopefully tier sets will bring even more change to the way players play a certain spec or a certain rotation so that they feel impacted by the gear that they're wearing, and it makes it more essential and more people want that tier set like it used to be in the past, because tier sets typically were known for changing up a rotation or enhancing a version of play with your character or a build with your character, and that's why so many people wanted it, is because it changed a way to play your character, which made it fun and exciting. Legendaries do somewhat of the same as well, because they are supposed to add that in, and having legendaries, maybe even 2 legendaries being able to equip later on, and having tier set bonuses on top of covenants and covenant soulbinds, conduits, and so on, I think will actually layer up to be a very complex but rewarding system as time goes on. It will be extremely impossible to balance throughout every spec. However, I do think that it'll be interesting to see the different kinds of builds and plays that can come from it. So after hearing about these sets, will you be looking to get these set bonuses when the Shadowlands expansion launches? Do you think that these sets should be unlocked account-wide so that your alts will actually have direct access to them? Because your alts will not have the anima power to upgrade them, but they might have the access to wear them as soon as they get into that Covenant Sanctum. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And as always, if you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for your support, and I will see you again next time.